No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama! This is a utter shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense!
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the time.
No problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. The summer pod officially underway with the fucking heavens opening, and I have the heat on. I literally have the heat on. It's awful, but we are red hot here in the studio. I am very hungover.
Oh, goody, good stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Cara Arts Festival. Another year where they didn't put up a tent for us to do a live show. That's okay.
Soon, any day now.
I'll still attend. I'll still support local. But yeah, great weekend, and a great weekend of sport. Great weekend of football. It's the coveted Nations League was on, Will.
Yeah. Has there ever been a tournament in history like this where every single year you find out the final is on the day of the final? You know what I mean? You have no idea. Or this, like, it'll just be a Thursday. You go, oh, there's two semi-finals on tonight and the finals on Saturday. And you're just like, oh, I guess I'll watch that. But like, where does the rest of the Nations League happen? I know we play it sometimes, but I've never seen any of it.
Most competitions, like the early rounds, are a bit shit, you know. And every competition and every kind of field sport, anyways, that I've ever watched, it's like the preliminary rounds. You know, it's like okay, we got to get through this, and you know, and a lot of teams like they don't play even their stars in those games, you know. And then by it gets to the quarterfinal, semi-final, maybe some of the last 16 and onwards, the knockout stages, it's like okay, now it ramps up, now it's a real competition. But the Nation League has to be the most weighted to the end tournament. Like the level of interest in the early rounds is like so minimal. Yeah. And then you have
no one knows how it works.
And then you have a final and semi-final like that. It's like, wow, this is a really good competition. It's like, no, it's not. The last two games are good. The last two rounds are good. But the rest of it, like I say, there's no lead up to it. It's not like, oh, Nations League now, the third weekend in June, as always. You know, it's like, no one knows. It just happens. It's like, oh, it's now. Is this? I thought it was like later. But I guess it is now. You know. But look, it was a great result for Portugal, and it was a great game. Mm-hmm. The semi-finals were great as well. I mean, yeah, it was nice to kind of wean us off football. You know, you don't want to just like cold turkey straight away. You need some kind of excitement before the long summer months. Yeah.
Well, it sets us up nicely. I know all the players playing those games were thinking, boy, I can't wait for the Club World Cup to start on Saturday. It's been nice having no break.
I forgot about the Club World Cup. Yeah.
So has everyone. I saw a headline on, again, RTE today, RTE News, which is like a reputable news website. The headline was...
says you.
The headline says, Club World Cup starts this week. Does anyone care?
I love those kind of articles.
Yeah. Well, that'll tell you.
I saw one, it was behind a paywall, but it was like, why AI hasn't taken your job yet? You know? I was like, that's interesting. Clicked into it. Behind the paywall, I was like, fuck that, you know?
You lost me. Yeah, lost me. Hey, it'll take your job if you keep up that paywall shit.
I like little opinion pieces like that. It's like, does anybody care? Here's why, you know? I guess no one cares because I was thinking about this as well, Will, in our season review, that like, you know, there's more football opinions out there than ever. More like people like us with podcasts. Like you can just start a podcast and, you know, for free.
There's no license. Yeah.
No. Stick out there, say whatever you want, you know, give your hot take, your opinion, whatever it is. And like, you know, people are like, podcasting equipment should be more expensive, all the rest of it. But no one really watches the games. Yeah. You know? They want someone to tell them, this team is good, this team is bad, this guy is overrated, this guy's a starboy. You know, give me something to bring back to the office around the water cooler. You know, because I don't want to be accused of having no ball knowledge.
No, that's awful, yeah.
And you can't just be like a Man United fan or a Liverpool fan. Like, imagine saying that now. Or talk to someone and going, geez, I saw fucking, Jota is linked with Arsenal. And then you're like, who's that? He plays Liverpool. Oh, I don't watch Arsenal games. I don't care about anything else. You're like, what? You can't do that.
No, you're not allowed to do that. Yeah, I think that was more allowed when you're younger. You can do that.
Yeah.
Like I like Man United. I don't really like football, but I like Man United.
Yeah, I like being attached to something that wins. That way, I feel like I win. But yeah, as an adult, you expect to have some kind of base level of knowledge. You can't watch all the games. You know?
You physically can't. Yeah.
Like, it's not a case where people watch sport to escape their terrible lives and their awful family. You know what I mean? Like, say, it on some level, it is like, it's nice to be attached to someone else who's winning. It makes me feel good. You know, it improves your life, but it's that, you know, you're not going to sit down and watch every single Man United game every year, you know? And then on top of that, watch the other top 6 games. And then just in case, watch the other team's game because they may have some, like, there's not hours in the day for that, you know? So you need someone to give you like a synopsis of like, hey, Gary Neville, what's going on? And he'll say some mad shit and people repeat it.
It's like, okay, he's angry about that. That must be important.
So like, yeah, by the time the Nations League comes around, you're like, I've been fucking, you know, bluffed my way through conversations for months. Okay. How much more of this do I have to pretend to know about? You know, and especially when Ireland aren't in it, like, well, I've no fucking care about Spain versus Portugal. I mean, I don't need to watch this, you know. But yeah, I think that's maybe why these summer competitions that don't have the history of the World Cup or the Euros, it's like, this is a bullshit one, isn't it? Can I take this one off? I don't watch this one. Can I spend time with my family in the sun? Maybe not here, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. In theory.
In theory, yeah. In theory, it's not a great time for it. But the game, in reality, in practice, it's a pretty dramatic game.
Pretty dramatic game. I think these type of games now follow Lamine Yamal. He's something we haven't seen in a while. Alan did this for a bit as well before he kind of his form fell off. He makes games better by being a real prick in the build-up. You know what I mean? You kind of want to see him. You either want to see him put his money where his mouth is, or you want to see him get some comeuppance. But it really does add to it.
Yeah, he is. He's untouchable at the moment, and he scored 2 goals in that game. No, sorry, I'm thinking of the semi-final.
The semi-final scored 2. Yeah,
we talked about the semi-final first. Oh, that was it. Like the beforehand. Like I said, this kind of like starboy kind of stuff. You know, go out there talking your shit, and then get out of the pitch and doing it. Obviously, he's been linked a lot with Dembele. Not linked with Dembele, but I guess, yeah, kind of linked to that they're both going for the Ballon d'Or. And people, I don't know, is it Premier League pills people or is it anti-Barcelona people? But they keep putting Lamine Yamal and Jacob Murphy's stats side by side. And they're strikingly similar, Will.
Yeah.
And this Jacob Murphy Ballon d'Or is like trending and stuff like that. So, you know, he's like, well, look, you, me, a game of football, we'll see who the best player is.
No doubt Dembele was like, nope, not how it works.
To say that and then go out and go, I mean, it was 5-4 at the end, but they were 5-1 up and you scored 2 goals. And like every time you got the ball, there's 2 French players on you. Like, that's insane. Insane to be going out there and going like, yeah, well, we'll see who the best is. And then go out there and being the best.
Yeah. And you're a teenager as well.
And you're 17, as we all know at what age he is. 17 years old doing that. He's an incredible player. And then, yeah, in the Portugal game, that was the final. He didn't. I guess him and Ronaldo are just so far away in terms of age. Ronaldo didn't even want to do like, hey, I was here before. Like there was no kind of beforehand of that, you know.
Well, I think Ronaldo, he seems to have chilled a little bit. When he first went to Saudi, there was a lot of talk of like, hey, I'm still the greatest of all time. Anyone who doesn't think that's a fucking idiot. But I think he's chilled on that a bit. I think he knows he's slowed down himself. And yeah, you don't want to start a war of words in a game that you could very much lose. And the lad you're saying, hey, he's nothing like me, you could easily score a hat-trick.
Yeah. Although he did have a good game. I don't know what time we are in terms of the pod, but did Man United make a mistake, Will, by letting Ronaldo go? Let's bring it back.
I actually saw Ollie was interviewed and he was talking about it. He's like, well, things were going so, like he said what everyone knew. He's like, God, things were going so well, you know, it just finished pretty high in the league, you know, got to this, got to that. Ronaldo came in and it really changed the dynamic of everything, I will say. It's like, I bet it did.
The dynamic when he was asked in the press conference, it's like, no, it's crazy. It would never happen. It's like, it's just happened, Ollie. I know.
Good.
I know that. I'm in charge. I know that. That's why I said it'd be crazy for it to happen next year. It's happening now. Next question. Yeah, like that was the beginning, the end for them. But I mean, he can still score a goal if he's in the right area. Will he can still get there? And he went off for the penalties, of course. I don't know, was he injured? I think he was injured, went off. But
yeah, I mean,
and then he's 40. Of course, he's 40 years of age.
40.
So extra time is insane. For him.
Another half an hour of high level football at 40 is pretty crazy. It's funny as well because I saw some people being like, "Yeah, he scored, but they're tap-ins. He's in the right place."
This is how many goals do you score for Man City debate all over again? Tap-ins, like you wouldn't score them, pal.
Like I think also that argument completely goes away now when we've just seen, say, like a Man United, or we see it now. There's lots of teams would have strikers who aren't very effective. Highland's not scoring tap-ins. He's never there. He's never there for them. It's tough to be there for them. You have to outsmart all the defenders and the goalkeeper. That's a lot of work.
They're watching him. They're watching him come in, and he's not as quick as he used to be. I mean, when he scored, he did kind of push Kukural out of the way, but like it was such a fluid push. Yeah, even the replays, like that does kind of look like he leaned more the push. So only when you slow it down really slow, the refs have to see it. Like that kind of stuff, it does kind of go, underappreciated, I guess. But yeah, there's so many teams that, like, if you had a guy who could just score tap-ins, that's worth like 50 million to you. You know what I mean? Because like there's so many teams who need that. 14
tap-ins a season would be fucking huge in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it's all kind of, the Nations League is great, and it's Ronaldo lifting the trophy. He scored has he scored more goals since turning 30 than he has before 30 something? That's fucking insane, and now he's into 40. Now he's into the third decade of it. It's it's incredible, and it's great for him and all the rest of it. But the real question is, I guess he can't drop now with the World Cup in a year.
No, he's got, the fact he's still there at all means he's playing that World Cup. I mean, he played, it's funny as well because when you watch the game, it's like, yeah, he can score, he's like effective in a way, but it's like he's not doing half of the shit he used to do, and probably what Ramos would do if he came on. But it's so funny to watch when he does score then, because it's like, good that he can, but it's probably bad for the team that he's still scoring. We need to get him out of here.
Well, this is the thing. It's like when he plays against, like, in the early rounds of the Nation Leagues, like we're saying, the preliminary rounds, I think it was, it's Rooney as well and Kane both got, because when they both broke the record for England, it's like, yeah, well, who are they fucking playing? Liechtenstein, like, does those goals even count? But then when you're Ronaldo and you're scoring goals against Spain, the reigning Euros champion, after like destroying France, I was going to say Paris, France in the semi-final. Yeah. It's like, well, he's done it against probably the best team in the world, so I mean, not much you can say there. I guess he should start the World Cup of the year.
It's funny to imagine, like, there's definitely people watching that game, like big Ronaldo haters, or even there's probably like Portuguese fans who are kind of sick of him watching him score that goal, like an important goal in a international final, essentially. But people like seeing that and rolling their eyes, being like, "Oh, of course," like, yeah, whatever. Like, that's huge. That's a really important goal still.
Yeah, I wonder, is there that kind of feeling about it? Because I know it's very different. But like when Robbie Keane was like still hanging on the end for Ireland, it was like, you just kind of wished he was younger. You know what I mean? You kind of wish he could go on forever. I know we had, because you had, like, yeah, I guess it's decent in a way, because like Shane Long was there and Kevin Doyle was also kind of there. It's kind of like, yeah, but they're just not, Gonzalo Ramos is like the next guy, and he has had moments, he scored good goals, but it's like, is he even better than Ronaldo now? It's like, it's hard to, again, just in terms of like the tap-ins, the easy goals, like Ronaldo will score them. I don't think Gonzalo Ramos definitely will. I think you'd be a generational hater or contrarian, at least, to say like, I'm sick of this Ronaldo fella who's won us the Euros, and yeah. I mean, I know that it's always about him, but like, still, it's just like he is so good. If I was from Portugal, I would be a huge Ronaldo fan, even now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. Like, it's such a different world, I'd say, for Portugal. Again, he scored more goals for them, I think, since he turned 30, like you said, which is insane. So yeah, I'm sure they do see him so differently. It's just the Ronaldo that us Premier League pilled podcasters know and see and saw at United the last time. We're like, well, that's him done forever. And now on to the next set of players. He's still doing it like years later.
Well, I think if Ronaldo was playing for Ireland, he would look pretty shit.
Yeah, probably. That'd be sick though.
I think, but I think like the Portugal team like is they're not like, hey, if he can't keep up, then fuck him. You know, like we're gonna play balls in the box. We're gonna press, and he's gonna do as well, which is what Man United was doing. It's like we're playing this way. You can't keep up. You're the problem. Which look, that's professional sport a lot of times. So I think he can do it when it's set up from still. But yeah, I don't know. I think we are going to see him in the World Cup. I think we're going to see Roberto Martinez with that team as well, which I thought like that's probably going to be done as well. But he's a Nations League champion.
Yeah, like, what else do you need? It's funny because again, I don't really know how it works. I don't know how you get to the final, particularly. I don't know how the group system works still after all these years. But when you see someone or you see a team lifting a trophy at all, it is just like, that's good though. That must be good. That must mean something.
What, you got to sack the manager after they win a trophy? Don't think so.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Who in their right mind would sanction that? Even if there was somebody better who's coming along or potentially coming along. But yeah, I think Portugal will look pretty similar to this team. I don't think Ronaldo's like, I'm just holding on for the Nations League in 2025 and that's it. I'm going to hang out my boots. I think we're close enough now at the World Cup where we can say, yeah, he's still going to be there. He's still going to be available for selection.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny to imagine if he was like, just one more Nations League is all I need.
Yeah. I want to be the first team to ever win the Nations League twice, which they did do. So fair play to them for that.
Could you have said they won the Nations League before you heard that?
I think I remember Spain winning it. I couldn't name it. I would have guessed France and Germany.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have guessed Portugal.
No,
I
I no idea. We probably covered it in depth on the podcast.
Yeah, in depth, I'm sure. Well, speaking of in depth, well, let's talk about Spain then for a bit. I mean, they are obviously still a good side. But the Yamal, it's all about Yamal. You know, he was the only player to walk off the pitch as Portugal were getting their medals. He was like, seen enough of this, lads. You know, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you'd worry about with Yamal, isn't it? It's like he's so good, so young. I mean, his reality must be just completely different than even professional footballers, like who, you know, it takes him to like 23 to make it. He's made it at 16.
He's played more games than most people play in a career for Barcelona.
And now at 17, he's calling out literally the best players in the world, like Dembélé, like, you're shit, man, watch this. And then doing it. And then it's like, oh, wait for these medals. Why the hell do I do that?
I didn't win. Why would I care? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny too, because like, watch them do all that. And, you know, you do worry for him, because I would describe him right now as a big, bright, shining star.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? It's very rare they go on forever. That's not the phrase.
Well, they can if they have like a good support system around them. I don't think the family situation is one of like, you know, professional athletes in the family. Like, oh, this reminds me of when I was, you know, driving Formula 1 in 1988, you know, like those agents will get you. I don't feel like there's the experience there, like a sporting family, a professional sporting family, which you do see sometimes. It's like the mother's a tennis player and the father's a skier or something, and they produce a soccer player. It's like they know all the tricks of the trade. I think he has unbelievable ability and talent, but I don't know if he has that kind of family experience to keep him on the ground. Definitely walking off after the thing is like,
Stop doing that, man. Look, I don't know anything about anything when it comes to football. I know still to be like, don't walk off. That'll be a big problem. That'll be a big thing they'll talk about. But he probably likes that too. You know what I mean? He's probably like, oh, now they're all going to like, even when I lose, they're all going to talk about Yamal, you know?
yeah, well, that's it. He'll get sick of that too. You know, where he can't do a fucking thing. And he'll see, again, when he's so young, it's like he'll see other players go on nights out and they don't fucking end up with the paper. You know, but I do anything. You know, I think if he doesn't have the people saying, listen, this is what we got to do, he might burn out. You know, listen, you burn out with the Euros and maybe World Cup next year. Like, you'll achieve more than most people do in their whole career. I mean, he won a Champions League. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Oh fuck! Will he's going to burn out too early. He's not going to win anything.
He's got to win that. We saw this with Mbappe.
This would be a classic burnout story. Like 16 wins the Euros, and then like by 25 he's definitely playing the game. You know, never wins Champions League.
Classic burnout story. Wins the Euro at 16, like just like so often.
Well, like I'm thinking of Gaza. You know,
yeah.
England's favorite son, Paul Gascoigne. They didn't win the World Cup, obviously, in 1990. But it was like he started the World Cup as a child, like, oh, this guy's going right to the top. I was like, he's actually going right to the bottom.
Let's keep telling him.
Yeah, let's put up with this big pedestal. Like if he falls off, it'll be really bad.
Higher.
Build it higher than that. He needs to be right at the top of that pedestal. Yeah, you have a breakout thing when you're young, where like on the biggest stage, like, wow, this guy's incredible. He can't be stopped, and then invariably he stops himself, and it's like, oh, what a shame. How did this happen? You know. So yeah, I mean, I think Spain are probably like thinking of the World Cup more so than the Nations League, although they did hammer France, but maybe that was just Yamal led.
That was a weird game.
But I guess Portugal Spain is like a grudge match for them as well, isn't it? You know, Portugal probably feel they can't beat them enough.
Yeah, it was. Like, it's very strange because, like I said, it's a final is a final. Winning trophies like that's big, but it's hard to tell what do the players think of like the Nations League, because it feels like during the season they're like, well, they don't care about this and that. But then when it comes to it, and they're like, again, banging in goals, and Lamine is so annoyed that he's walking off. Like, they obviously care a bit about it, so it's hard to tell what you can glean from it, really. Like,
yeah, because again, it's end of a long club season for them. Like they may have wanted it, but it's just like, you know, the mind is willing, but the body is weak and feeble. I saw a few tweets going around. I was talking about him the other day. I couldn't remember his name. Will Huijsen at the back for Spain. The well-worn track, Bournemouth to Real Madrid.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, that's so often before.
But before that, Juventus and Roma.
I did see some calls saying he was an industry plant.
That's exactly where I was going with this, Will. Yeah, industry plant. Is he the first industry plant accused footballer? I
don't recall ever seeing that. And I mean, thinking back though, I think if someone had said that about Morata in the past, I would have gone, yeah, I can see that.
Oh, Morata. I mean, the fucking penalty. I mean, like, if you said Morata's going to not score a penalty, I'm looking at that. I'm picturing that penalty. I'm not picturing him like skying over the bar or hitting wide. It's like it's a meek little, just get on target, Morata. It's like, come on, man. You scored 1 million goals in your life. Why are you still doing this kind of stuff?
Remember at the Euros where he like totally changed our perception of him when he was like captain, and he was like a real, I don't know how he's like a real leader's performance all through the Euros. Like, I think we were wrong about this Morata guy all the time, but then that's the Morata I know. That's the Morata I think of.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just, it comes with age and experience, and he's like, listen, lads, I've missed countless chances over my career. Chicken down at every possible moment, you know, really mess things up. And now I know what to do. I don't know. I mean, I think it was just, I don't know what he was doing this year. Was he still Atletico Madrid?
Atletico, Juve, Roma, maybe. I'm not sure where he is at the moment.
I think the last time I saw him, he was at Atletico Madrid, but I don't know if he's still there. But yeah, I mean, it's still a penalty. It's still a high pressure situation. You know, trophy on the line. Easy for us to sit here and judge, Will.
He's at Galatasaray.
Ah, okay. With is Mourinho at Fenerbahce or Galatasaray?
Mourinho is with Fenerbahce.
Mm.
And all hell is breaking loose over there with him.
Yeah, that feels like it's coming to its natural end. What else then do we have? Well, we had some... we had a long-running bit in the pod come to an end off pod, kind of annoyingly.
Very annoying. We were hoping it would happen. We were hoping it would happen during the last episode, where we do one quick check. Is Ange Postecoglu still Spurs manager? And we'd be told live on air, but we just missed it by a few days.
Well, there's so many weekends of like abysmal performances by Spurs, you know. And you're thinking, all right, we're doing the podcast on a Monday evening. This is when it's going to break, you know. And then it never would. It's like, he's still there. He's still there. Little did we know he had a master plan to win the Europa League. But kind of like Uncut Gems, spoiler alert, the plan can work and you can still die. You know,
good analogy.
Yeah, well, it's just like I imagine him thinking like, yeah, turn around to Johnny Levy, like, I did it. It's like, you fucking prick. You know? Like, what? You made a laughing stock out of us. You're sacked. And we're getting the guy that one of the guys on the Nonsense podcast said people don't rate. Thomas Frank. I said that he's kind of like he's a good manager, he's a great guy, but I think if they really thought that, they would have pulled the trigger by now. I said the same thing about Ange Postecoglu. If they're going to let him go, they'll have pulled the trigger by now. So I'm not really a trigger guy. I'm not really sure when the trigger should be pulled or not.
Yeah, you're just off on the trigger.
My guess is off on when the trigger should or should not be pulled on this. And the upshot is that, Thomas Frank is now the Tottenham manager.
A favourite, but
He's not announced yet, is he not? Oh.
No, not yet. I think he's still got to fill in some paperwork and, make sure. Is this allowed, Brentford? Is it legal for me to go there? I'm sure it's that type of thing.
Oh, yeah. The contract stuff, maybe. Personal terms.
I'd be, I'm not worried is the word, but I'd be wary. For
I don't
Spurs
care. I'm not worried, but if I was.
Thinking, it's not like a big issue, but I think Spurs and Frank might not do very well together, because I think Thomas Frank is a good manager at a club that's run like fucking clockwork, that like they have these players coming in left and right that other teams have never heard of, and it's the perfect fits and everything fits together. I don't know if it's going to be like that at Spurs. I mean, it seems like the managers always get their own choice of players. Like, who would you like to sign? Pick 5 and we'll try get them. Like, I don't know how it's going to go at Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, Brentford is like little Denmark with all those Danes he gets in. That's part of it too. He gets people he knows or maybe he's worked with before. And they're really good Premier League players, I guess. But you'd wonder if they would translate to it. Like, you see that sometimes they bring a former player from a former club. You'd wonder if, I can't think of any of their names. They're fancy legends though. They get fancy points as well. But that's it. They're part of the team. I can't imagine one of them going to Spurs and be like, oh yeah, this guy's going to score.
Yeah.
Loads of goals. He's going to be team of the season, obviously. I think, like I say, it's all about, they're like Brighton. They do the statistical analysis for players and stuff. And yeah, I wonder, has he benefited a lot from that? Or is it just that players he knows and it's all him? I don't know. Is it the kind of situation where he had to take it because he'd never be offered again? A classic case of that, where you're actually not good enough for the job, so you better fleece them now, Thomas.
It's hard to tell, because like this feels very to me, although I think when I was going to say it feels a lot like when they got Nuno Espirito Santo.
Who was a good manager, clearly.
He was a good manager and he did well at Wolves. But I think when they were getting him at Spurs, the Spurs fans didn't want him from the start. And I think it was kind of doomed from the beginning, because from day one, they were like, oh, for fuck's sake. I knew it was going to be like this, managing the way he manages. So I don't think it's like that this time. I think there's a bit more leeway for Thomas Frank. But
yeah, that's a bit of kind of snobbery as well. That's like Wolves, Yeah. Which is also like the hoisting thing as well, where it's like, there's no way Bournemouth's got a good player, Because again, people watch the games and need someone to tell them this is a good team, this is a bad team. It's like Bournemouth were decent and they have decent players there. And it's a Premier League team. The money that you can't underestimate, that the money that a Premier League team can offer somebody really does help getting good young players in. But yeah, I mean, Thomas Frank is like, he's rated, I guess, in the same way that like we're saying, like Gary Neville, like he's a football man. And people go, okay, sounds good to me. Whereas Nuno Espirito Santo didn't have that same kind of PR going into the Spurs job. Yeah,
and I think as well, there's obviously more leeway because Brentford finished so far above Spurs in the league. Well, a few positions ahead anyway. So
who didn't?
You can't really... Yeah, exactly. You can't really be like picky. You know what I mean? It's like, you're in fucking... I know you just won the Europa League, but that was all Ange is doing. Nothing to do with ye. He said as much.
Yeah, I guess you can't really be looking at your nose at any other manager, but I think Thomas Frank has that kind of cachet with Premier League fans. Like, yeah, he's a good guy. He does good with bad teams, and we're a bad team, so that'll work.
It's just, we saw his forward with like Graham Potter at Chelsea. That was a disaster, do you know?
Yeah, no, like Nuno's a good one. Graham Potter is another example of it. Roberto Martinez, when he went to Everton, he kept waking up with like a shoestring budget And everyone like, sounds good to us, you know. And it's weird. It's strange because sometimes it's like, well, if he could do that at that club, he must be able to do untold things at another club with more money. And it sometimes just doesn't translate. Like Thomas Frank might get them to where he got Brentford. You know, it's like, that's all he knows how to do. I again, this is from not watching many Brentford games. I've known nothing about Thomas Frank's fucking approach or, you know, what his plans are for Tottenham. But like, it does work out that way sometimes. David Moyes, obviously another example. Not a bad manager, but you know, you go to a club where you don't have everything set up the way you want it to, and you know, it doesn't work out. I mean, the only example of the opposite of that, who seems to be able to do it anywhere, is Karen Ancelotti. He's done it. Everywhere's gone, including Everton, where he was doing unbelievable with them. And then Real Madrid's like, hey man, what are you doing over there? Like, get over here. You know, this is where you want to be. So yeah, look, best of luck to Thomas Frank and his doomed endeavour, according to Will.
I know Ange said that they threw away the league from January, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, they were still playing the players they had. I know they had injuries, but they didn't near the end. And like, it wasn't just like week to week. He was like, all right, lads, Premier League game, no one bother today. Like, no way.
No. I think that was, look, I don't want to cast aspersions up, but I think that was a bit of a white lie that Ange told. Listen, he's going into the office every day in Spurs. He can tell when the tide's turning.
yeah, he knew.
It's like, okay, they are really not happy about this Premier League thing, you know? So I got to do something and say, listen, I did that on purpose, okay? I'm not that bad, you know? It wasn't like I was trying to win those games, which is insane, but like what you might say.
I do think that's why he got sacked in the end, because you can't say that.
No, I think he probably knew he was going to get sacked. He's like, well, I have to try something. You know, I have to at least make him look bad. You know, I knew what I was doing the whole time, but all part of the plan, you know? You can't just be like, yeah, fuck, I mean, I'll try again next year, but no promises. You know?
The Ruben Amorim approach, yeah.
yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, the only thing for Brentford, and again, I don't really care. What I do care about is Creeping Keller. You know, he's thinking, oh yes, I'm going to this really plucky Brentford side to the great manager. Now the great manager's gone. Now, if what we've heard in passing about statistical analysis that Brentford do, maybe they'll be fine. Maybe they'll get some analysis and he'll just pick up the mantle and, you know, the abacus, and it'll all run smoothly. But it really would be great for Ireland to have a goalkeeper playing regular football in a top league, you know?
Yeah, it'd be unreal. I mean,
at least one player, you know?
What's the last time we had a starting Premier League keeper like for a full season? Was it Shea Given?
I think it might have been Dan Randolph for West Ham.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I know Bazunu was, but he wasn't very good.
For Southampton, yeah. Yeah, that maybe Bazunu actually, yeah. But did he for the whole season?
Yeah, I think he got injured. He got injured or dropped.
As a big signing coming.
Yeah.
You know, we have Collins, I guess, for Brentford as well. So
that's
good.
That's good, yeah. Two of them, yeah.
The defense band together. Maybe they can sign Jacob Ryan as well.
Honestly, not bad signing. That would suit them.
Yeah, that's you like him to because this is what happened to Robbie Keane, bringing up Robbie Keane for the second time on the show. You know, he got signed into Milan, and then the manager left, and didn't want the new manager didn't want him.
What the hell am I going to do with this guy who scores every game? They said.
Yeah, he doesn't like, you know, philosophy, you know, Italian football. That's like into it, Will, you know. Didn't like this guy. So yeah, that can happen sometimes, but I think if you are good enough as well, which as Creeping Keller is, I think, especially as goalkeeper, if he can play out from the back, he can save shots. There's not much more than that, is there?
No, those are the two things.
Being shouty.
Yeah, he's not very shouty, I think.
No.
You could work on that.
You don't need that. You don't need to be fucking Jordan Pickford over here. You can just fucking save the ball and kick it out, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in a starting role all season. Saw a lot of shouts from Liverpool fans and from other people saying, is he the best second goalkeeper of all time in the Premier League? Which, hard to tell what that means because, generally it's tough to tell how good the second goalkeeper is because he doesn't play that much. If he plays that much, then he's probably the new starting keeper.
Yeah, it's a very specific role that really is reserved for teams who are going to be in a lot of competitions and they play one keeper and they respect that. A lot of teams, like when they get to a semi-final, they go, "All right, get the good keeper in." Liverpool always let Keller play all the way to the final and have starring roles in the final. So there was other goalkeepers that could have won stuff like Keller, but like when it got to like the final, they were, "Thanks for getting us here, pal, but we'll take it from here." I did say that there was that 1 year where Cech and Courtois were both at Chelsea, which, I mean, that's as good as it gets, isn't it? Really, because Cech was still good if he went to Arsenal after that year. Like he obviously wasn't in his best years, but I mean, he was still a very, very good Premier League goalkeeper. But they're just getting a younger model in, essentially. I mean, if you want to go international, then it's game over. But club level, probably he's up there for sure. But a lot of that's just opportunities. But look, he's hopefully going to be one of the best first goalkeepers now next year. That'd be great. And then Real Madrid after that, him and Huysen.
Yeah, Brentford to Real Madrid, the next pipeline.
Can you imagine start calling Queven Geller industry plant?
That would be great for us. That would mean he's doing really well.
Spanish podcasters call him an industry plant. Who is this guy? Liverpool, then Brentford, then Real Madrid.
El Planto.
This is bullshit. Yeah, so I think that's the kind of football that's going on. I mean, look, Ireland played a game. You may or may not have known that. It was a friendly on a Friday night against Senegal. It was 1-1. McAteer. I thought McAteer was like... Oh, sorry. It is McAteer. I thought he was like borderline going to go to England. We were like trying to get him in.
Did we steal him from them? That's good.
Or did he have a pretty underwhelming couple of years? Like, fuck it. I'll play for Ireland. Oh, I think maybe I'm thinking of Liam Delap.
Oh, yeah. I think we're still courting Liam Delap. Zero chance of that.
It's over now. Now he's at a big
he
six.
plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, he's going to get a minimum 15 caps on that alone, just by playing for Chelsea. But that was it. Was that a Nations League game? No, it was just a friendly.
That was just a friendly.
It was the Arts Festival. Come on. Cardiff Arts Festival. Can't be watching the Ireland game.
No, and what is worrying though is I think we were playing a friendly there because some teams in our group were playing Nations League because Portugal are in our World Cup qualifying group, which is worrying.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good. But with Queven Geller and Collins playing together,
Yeah.
Maybe we won't get so many handy tap-ins that a child could score,
Yeah, no one scores tap-ins against us. It's only from outside the box. So good luck, Ronaldo. Like to see you try that.
We'll let you kick from there all day and you'll score. Yeah, when's our next competitive game? Probably not till, hopefully.
We've a friendly tomorrow, I believe. It could be a qualifier. Let me look that up. Against Luxembourg, who we have recently lost to, I think.
Oh, yeah, there'd be a bit of a rivalry with Luxembourg these days. They win one, we win one. They won in our place, we won in their place. So it's the crowd isn't helping for either side.
Yeah, well, we're playing in their place. That's tomorrow night, and that is another friendly. So before the final run out before the start of the World Cup qualifying campaign. So just see how we're getting on. Get an idea of things before the World Cup qualifying kicks off.
A final tune-up to we face Portugal.
A devastating loss to Luxembourg.
Oh, this is it. It's that thing of like when you're a boxer and you're kind of last few fights, and then they put you up against the journeyman. It's like if you lose this, there's nowhere to go. If you win, you don't really prove anything. You're just trying to get one more win under your belt, but like. So nothing to gain, everything to lose. This Luxembourg game is what I'm trying to say. Going to Portugal. Who else in the group? Probably someone else fucking better than us.
I'm going to guess Greece are in it. Feel like we're always in a group with them.
I would say the Netherlands, Portugal, and Estonia.
Okay. It's not actually that bad. Portugal, Hungary, Armenia.
Oh, well, this is
Careful. I
Careful.
thought you were going to say it.
Well, we'll be fucking hungry, home and away. We got a draw against Portugal. That Bob Schruckel. Yeah, I mean, I know that Hungary are decent. They got to the Euros in 2021, was it?
Whenever the last one was. Remember they had that big guy playing.
They're at a decent level. Like when you think of the context of the European, if there was a European table, we would be down there around the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, I know we're League B, but like there's a lot of teams ahead of us. So yeah, I think Hungary would probably be around level or if not better. Armenia, I think that's the team we're going to target. But how does it work out? Is there like second place? Is there a third place playoff? Is there?
I'm not sure because I'm looking at it here. So we're in a group of 4. There's a few groups of 4 and then there's a few groups of 5. So I've no idea. There's also, one sec there now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 groups. And isn't this the World Cup where way more teams get in also?
Oh, okay. Well,
So God knows how this works, to be honest.
well, then in that case, I'd say we're probably targeting the Armenia game if that's
Yeah.
what I have to do. If we're like, okay, we'll probably lose to Portugal. Thanks to the refs again, probably.
We actually always do okay against Portugal. We
Yeah.
never get hammered. It's always a devastating loss because, we're so close.
Yeah, sometimes they're not really up for it, I guess.
Yeah.
When they're playing Ireland away or whatever. But yeah, I'd say that's not the worst group. Usually there's one team that we can get over on. I think Hungary, not unbeatable. I'll say that much. Anyways, look, we'll stop boring people with Ireland news and talk. We had a poll today. We had a big, beautiful poll.
It's the moment of truth. How are you feeling, Gael? Are you nervous?
I'm excited, Will. 3 great movies to choose from, and whichever one the audience picks, I'm happy to watch and take notes.
Well, the 3 movies we had in the poll for what we should review first in our summer of film, or whatever we're calling it, were Goal, that's the first Goal movie, Air Bud World Pup, or Bend It Like Beckham. The final results are in, and we will be reviewing Bend It Like Beckham by 1 vote, 36% of the vote. Air Bud and Goal both on 32% of the vote each.
Oh, Goal had a late run, did it?
Goal had a late run. Goal and Air Bud were level in the end, but Bend It Like Beckham with 1 extra vote.
Yeah, look, I haven't watched Bend It Like Beckham, I think at a sleepover years and years ago.
I have no memory. I've definitely watched it. I have no memory of it though.
I remember there was one scene where, I mean, I'm probably saying this for the show, but there's one scene where, I forget. Anyways, we'll watch it
Tune
back.
in.
If you want more of that. No, there's one scene where Keira Knightley, her mom called her lesbian because she has too much muscles.
Okay, yeah.
And like, she is like not even close to jacked. Like, it's pathetic. The mother, like, is an idiot. She's not even nearly jacked enough to be considered, manly. Yeah, good cast in that movie.
Good cast, yeah.
I think it's I don't know if it's a decent movie. Again, it's been years since I watched it, but I don't know if it's like one of those kind of like iconic kind of had to be there at a certain age, a certain time, or is it genuinely a good movie? But we'll find out.
I would assume it's probably comfortably the most well-reviewed movie of those 3 that we had up to choose. Probably wouldn't be our first choice, but I would say comfortably the best film of the 3.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be good. So we're going to do that. We're going to watch that during the week.
Crushed. It's not Air Bud, are you?
Well, like, people vote for Air Bud, we could watch Air Bud. People want
There's
to
an
see
appetite for Air Bud.
There's people are saying they want to see Air Bud. We'll do it like The Big Short. We'll just put all the failed votes back into another vote, package that up, and then we'll eventually get there. We'll eventually pull out Air Bud when it's against, Goal 3 and fucking, the Pele documentary or whatever. It'll be like, fine, watch Air Bud. So yeah, we're going to do a kind of a watch along, not a watch along. We're going to watch it. We're going to come back to you. We'll watch and come back.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to know what Bend It Like Beckham was? Now's your chance.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a play by play. It's just going to be like a review, and then we'll analyze the football bits, and I'm sure there'll be like funny stuff in there. But
Yeah, everyone has homework now. So our homework: watch Bend It Like Beckham, take notes. Your homework, listener: watch Bend It Like Beckham. See if you agree with our takes on it.
Yeah, maybe you can watch it. Maybe just listen to the review, and then it might say, "Oh, maybe I'll watch it now." You know, so we'll see what happens. But if you do want to watch it and get all the references we're talking about, I was going to say there's probably no games on this weekend. I bet there fucking is.
I bet there is. Well, Ireland are playing tomorrow.
So yeah, maybe we'll do like a quick little news roundup. So yeah, that's for Thursday, but that's for ultras only.
Ultras only.
You want to become an ultra? Click the link in the description of this episode. It'll bring you to the ultra section, the cages, and just walk right in. You know,
you gotta like pay a small fee, but they're very welcoming.
It's a monthly fee. But there's no security really. You know, other than that. Until then, I guess we will see you next Monday when we'll review whatever games happened. Maybe do another movie. Who knows?
Who could tell? Summer pod.
We're playing it by ear. We'll see how this goes. This move thing. If it's a complete disaster, we'll never speak of it again.
Yeah. This could be the last you ever hear of it. We might get 20 minutes into watching Bend It Like Beckham and message her being like, "This is boring."
Yeah, or just like show up like, I watched the start of it, right? Yeah, no, I did watch the start of it. But
are we doing that this week? Oh,
you said goal. I watched goal instead.
I watched Airbud, man.
Oh, well.
Sure, we said Airbud.
Yeah, that's all ahead of us, folks, all through the summer. When's the first Premier League game start again? August, is it?
No, yeah, long. Well, 2 more
13
months.
weeks or something like that. Enjoy your Monday, your rainy Tuesday, or whatever fucking day it is. Man, I'm struggling. I'm just very. I've done well so far, but I am struggling.
It's happened. Yeah, it's over. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Check my phone, mate. He's not in there. I don't have him as Pep. I think there's nothing wrong with being a nice person. You know, like I said, it's, if somebody comes and knocks on your door and wants a cup of tea, and you kind of, as a kindred spirit, you let him in your house, mate. It's all right. He's not going to take the furniture or steal the cutlery. You've had some unbelievably fantastic managers, big names, successful, and then there's you, Ange. I don't think it works that way, mate. It's not, it's not my wife handing me a shopping list to go down and get some milk and bread for the kids. Come on, mate. We didn't play well. I mean, what do you want me to sit here and write your dossier on where we went wrong? Like I said, I'll take responsibility. We were poor in the first half. Still think their goal was a foul, but no one cares about that.
A proportion of your fans won't want you to win this game. How do you feel about that and the potential atmosphere it might create?
A proportion of our fans? What does that mean?
What? Difficult to say.
Proportion?
Difficult to say how many.
Really? What, 50%? 20%? 1%? Just give me a rough estimate in your mind.
I'm talking silverware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Competing right at the top.
Am I going to answer the question, or are you going to keep asking it? No, absolutely. I haven't reiterated many times. Yeah. But if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. So if you ask me 100 times, I'm going to answer it 100 times. But I'm not going to walking around with banners saying, I win things in my second year. But, ask me the question, I'll give you the answer. And it is what it is. It's killing the game, but no one cares about that. Look, Pat, you can try and force me into a corner.
I'm not trying to force you into anything.
You are. Did you think last night was a red card? Was it clear and obvious? Yes. Okay. How many minutes did it take this referee to figure out whether it's clear and obvious? In your just basic knowledge of human, vocabulary, clear and obvious, what does that suggest to you? That on the first replay, is that clear and obvious? I guess people like you will continue to be happy sitting on your couches waiting for 6 minutes for clear and obvious stuff. Spurs, mate. They love it. They love it. Oh, they love it. You love it. It does crazy things to people, mate. I love it. Bring it on. To quote Billy Joel, you may be right, I may be crazy, but it's maybe a lunatic you're looking for, mate. It's just who we are, mate.
And I'll tell you something, I'll leave you with this. All the best television series, season 3 is better than season 2. Not sure. I should have thought about it a bit more, because as somebody rightly pointed out, sometimes they kill off the main character. So I could be in strife there.